Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability community. This week we are talking about Skinny Sips, refreshing low-calorie drinks. And I think it is perfect timing because here in Michigan it has been in the 80s all week. And it's just nice to have something cool and refreshing, but also doesn't make you feel gross and bloated. So today we're really going to be talking about how you can take those delicious drinks that you enjoy, that you know you're going to enjoy, but maybe swap out some healthier, more low calorie options. Because some of the things that show up when we drink alcohol is extra calories consumed, more sugar, things like that, that really are not going to allow us to feel our best and will, in the long run, if we drink in excess, make it harder for us to reach our health goals. So when you do choose to consume, we want to be a little bit more aware of some of these things. So as you guys are popping into Facebook and jumping here in the group, make sure to drop hashtag live or hashtag replay in the comments below. If you're watching here on YouTube, because these do get streamed into YouTube, or you're listening to the podcast, drop in the comments, let us know that you're here and you're listening. I'd also like to know what your favorite cocktail or mocktail is, because I know we got some people tuning in today that are not alcohol people, but they really enjoy a good mocktail. So, in yesterday's post inside the Facebook community, I asked what your go-to mocktail or cocktail was, and we're going to kind of go over some of those today. I'm going to share what mine are, as well as some other alternatives for cocktails and mocktails. And then we're going to kind of talk about some things to think about, whether you're making your drink at home or you're doing it out about, whether it's at the lake, at a bar, wherever it is. So remember, drop in the comments, let us know that you are here watching live, or if you're watching the replay later on, drop hashtag replay and let us know what your favorite cocktail or mocktail is. And if you don't have one, why are you tuning in today? What made you jump on today's call and kind of listen in on, maybe I'd be interested in this. So, like I mentioned, the part of the reason we're doing today's training, as going into summer, I find it really, really hard because we want all the fancy drinks, that I find it really hard to find some of these yummy cocktails or mocktails that don't make us feel bloated, don't make us feel like we're drinking a ton of sugar, and really trying to do some healthier swaps. Because if we're going to be outside, we want to feel our best. And if I'm having pre-made mixes and stuff, I know I'm not going to feel my best because of the added sugar that's in it. So thinking through today on what are your cocktails and mocktails and letting us know if there's any swaps. Is there something that I talk about that you could easily swap? Or are you kind of stuck and you need help with what a swap would be to make it a little bit lighter for you? Hello, we got Kelly and Julie watching on Facebook. Happy to have you guys here. Feel free to chime in the comments as you are watching. So in yesterday's post, like I mentioned, we had a few people drop martini or margarita was their go-to cocktail or mocktail if they were able to get out of the house. Vodka cranberry or vodka and anything was another favorite. We had a Shirley Temple for a mocktail, and then we had a Dirty Shirley, which is essentially a Shirley Temple with vodka. So out of those, those are I think the most common ones that I see people having their favorites. So I'm going to share some of my favorites later on. Oh, and the other one was a skinny mojito. And remembering that there's some of these that you'll hear the word skinny. It's not, I don't want you to think of skinny as being like good or bad. All you're doing when we're talking about skinny is we're replacing some of those calories that are a little bit higher with something that's a little bit lower in calories so that we just don't feel as full and as bloated, because that's kind of what happens when we drink. So before we get into all that, though, I want to do some things to remember about alcohol. That a serving of liquor, beer, or wine is roughly 100 calories. So whether it's your glass of wine in like a normal 4 to 6 ounces, not like that half a glass or a full glass, that beer is usually roughly around 100, and as well as any of those liquors on their own are around 100 calories. So thinking through that right there as we are drinking, all of a sudden we're at that 100 calories. And I don't talk much about calories in this group because I don't think it's tracking our calories is sustainable for the long term. But it is really good to be aware of how many calories go into some of these cocktails and mocktails, and that adds up. So if you are starting to see that you're not hitting your goals, maybe we just need to do some switches, or maybe we need to limit the alcohol just a little bit and really take it in and soak in how much we enjoy it rather than just having it as like an end of the day replacement. So, things to avoid slash limit. And these are just things I really want you to be aware of. So, simple syrups and sugars when you put in, and that's really where you're going to find these is your fruit juices, like your pre-packaged fruit juices, those lemonades, the pre-made drink mixes for like margaritas, daiquiris, pina coladas. Like even if you go put it in the blender, if you've ever watched somebody make your pina colada, it's like this syrup. It tastes delicious once it's all blended, but you can just watch making sure that maybe you start your drink off, your day off with that, and then you move to something a little less filling for you. Other things to think about are jarred or canned fruits that are drenched in syrup. So essentially, in that Dirty Shirley or that Shirley Temple, we've got those cherries, and often we'll pour that syrup in as well as that cherry. And that right there is just that sugar soaking in. So, not to avoid completely and get rid of, but just be more aware of if you're having multiple of these and you're feeling full, you're not feeling your best, can we make some of these swaps? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So, tips for both at home and while you are out is think about seasonal fruit that you can be using to muddle and really get the flavors of the fruits. I really like, I'll talk about it later, but Tom Collins, which is a gin drink, that I don't buy lemon juice. Which I could, but I fresh squeeze everything, so I know exactly what's going in it. So there are times where those skinny cocktails or mocktails will take a little bit more work on your end, but I promise they taste so much better than that pre-made stuff anyways. You can incorporate spices and herbs. Like mint. I know somebody who does like a basil and club soda, like mash, and they really like that. Something else that's really nice is using frozen fruit um, or melon cubes. So if you're making a daiquiri, get your strawberries. You can actually blend real frozen strawberries. There's a bunch of different ways of thinking through, can we use real fresh fruit, spices, and herbs? Because it's going to taste better, it's going to taste more fresh, and it's going to be less loaded with added sugar. The other thing is looking at sparkling water. Club soda and sparkling water were a game changer. When I started to create drinks that were a little less in calories, I needed that bubbly and I needed that little bit of flavor, but I didn't need all the extra sugar. So you can do a ton of different bubbly waters. Like Aldi's got their own version. There's Bubbly, the brand. There's LaCroix. Costco's got their own brand. Finding Target's actually got a brand. There was like a peach ginger that went really well last year when I tried it. So getting creative with it. And if you don't like bubbly or sparkling water, that's okay too. That has been a huge game changer. You're going to see that through some of the recipes that I talk about, that is a swap that I do a lot. And then if you're doing tonic, normal tonic does have a added sugar, just like normal ginger beer. So you can always make that swap and do diet tonic or diet ginger beer if you're doing a mule. And what you could do is do half the amount of the ginger beer or the tonic and then do normal club soda because they're both that bubbly, but it will help break some of that sugariness that you just don't like the taste of, or you just wanted to make a little bit different of a swap. So we have some favorites that I'm going to go through. I'm going to kind of talk through some calorie-friendly cocktails, some calorie-friendly mocktails. And then as you have questions throughout, drop them in the comments. Whether it's a drink you like, a swap you need, whatever it is, or, oh, I've really tried that, or, oh, I haven't tried that. Drop them all in the comments, let me know. So some of my favorites that are light and fresh, and like I said, they do take a little bit more time because I actually will squeeze the lemons and limes, but Tom Collins, which is going to be gin, fresh squeezed lemon juice, club soda, and then a little bit of simple syrup. And you can make your own simple syrup with just water and sugar. I usually just buy normal simple syrup and I just use a very little bit, just enough to take that just enough to take some of that harshness or that bitterness that you may taste from the gin still out of the drink. So I don't use a lot of simple syrup. Some of the recipes out there call for more. I do a very minimal amount, partly because I don't like the sweetness. I prefer more of like a neutral type of flavor with that little bit of sweet and that little bit of bitter. So that's my favorite when it comes to gin, and they're super refreshing. The other one is a vodka and soda. And vodka and soda, you could do just plain old club soda with fresh squeezed limes or lemons, or you could muddle some strawberries, whatever that looks like. Or what I like to do, which I find is easier because I love soda, I love sparkling water, is I just do vodka and I do it in a cute little glass. I'll do vodka with either lemon, sparkling water, lime, that ginger peach that I told you I got from Target, a blueberry, and I will play with my flavors that way. You can also play with the flavor of vodka. So you could technically do a blueberry vodka with normal club soda, and that will also change. So thinking through, if you're bored with your normal vodka cranberry, could you do a cranberry vodka with normal club soda? Like, how could you kind of switch those around so you still enjoy them? So that is my favorite go-to vodka. For rum, it's a skinny mojito. So that was one of the things that was on that somebody dropped yesterday. And the skinny mojito is rum, white rum, muddled mint, muddled limes, and then club soda. And if you don't want it skinny, you just add simple syrup. I like it without the simple syrup. If you muddle enough limes and you muddle the mint enough, you really get those flavors to come out that sometimes the simple syrup will kind of tame. And I really want to be able to taste the mint and the lime. In the comments, we've got water, splash of coconut water, and vodka. Ooh, coconut water, I've seen a lot of people playing with that recently. So I like that. I'm gonna have to try that. Um, yeah, the coconut water, I've seen people do different things with it. So if you've got any other coconut water suggestions, let me know. I would love to know. And like, do you put any fresh fruit in it, or is it just a more refreshing type of sipper? So yeah, that is a skinny mojito that I talked about before. Tequila, if you prefer tequila as your type of liquor, I like a skinny margarita. And really all that is I'm fresh squeezing my limes. And we use a triple sec, a Cointreau, or a Grand Marnier as like an orange liqueur. And then you've got your tequila, and I always do a little bit of simple syrup, partly because tequila is not my most favorite, but I enjoy it. I do a little bit of simple syrup, and then I would top with lime soda water. That's my preference, to kind of cut some of it and to really make it balanced. Um, as you heard, there's no pre-made mix in there. So it's not I'm gonna go to the store, buy the thing, and just pour it in the glass. Like it does take more work, but I do really think they taste better. You can also do an orange for the margarita as well. You could juice an orange and put some of that juice in there as well. Um, Really, what I find is the best when you are doing any sort of low-calorie margarita is staying away from the mixes, just because you just feel better. You actually get to enjoy the drink rather than being bogged down with the sugar. When it comes to beer, my two go-tos are Michelob Ultra, and then Miller Lite, because they're all 100 calories or less and they're lower in carbs. And when they're lower in carbs, they're not going to make you feel as full as if you were to drink a heavier like Budweiser. And the higher in carbs usually means the higher in calories, which is going to make you feel fuller. So I usually try to keep everything around that 100-calorie mark. So those are some of my favorites. If you missed any of these or you want the recipes to this, just drop sips in the comments and I can send you the type up of the recipes, or what's in all of them. You can also Google them. None of the recipes or the names of these that I said are anything unique to me. They're ones that I found on the internet that I've tried on my own. Um, so some other calorie-friendly cocktails are just tequila with fresh lime juice. I've got a friend, that's what she does. She just squeezes lime and she does a shot of tequila, and that's what she enjoys. Vodka soda with lime, kind of exactly what we said. A light Bloody Mary. So if you like Bloody Marys, you can get different Bloody Mary mixes that are different in calories. So you can always look at that. I'm not a Bloody Mary person. I don't know very much about them. Light beer, champagne, gin and tonics, white wine like Pinot Grigio and Chardonnay, red wine, Pinot Noir, Cabernet, hot toddy, martini straight up. So there's a bunch of different things that are kind of around that lower calorie, calorie friendly mark. And if you look up the recipes to any of this, the reason they're like that is because of the sugar that's not in it. It's lower in sugar, which means those calories are going to be lower, which means the majority of the calories are actually just coming from the liquor or the alcohol itself, and then any of the add-ons. When we add that Coke to that Captain or whatever we drink, that Coke has a bunch of sugar and calories in it, and so does that liquor. So when we add those two together, it just makes for more and makes us feel fuller, and then we get filled up on that. So thinking through of can you switch, can you kind of play around with these drinks and just make them less sugary. Have fun with it. I love making new drinks and having them in little glasses and being outside in the sun. Um, and when we move on to mocktails here, one of the things that I do is I have a really pretty wine glass. There's no stem on it, but the bottom's rainbow. I'll put ice in there and I'll make my mocktail in that. So it feels like I'm drinking a cocktail, but really I'm just drinking soda water with some mint, something like that. So, but I put it in that same glass that I'd have a cocktail in to give me the feel of having it. Because there's just something different about drinking it out of that versus drinking it out of like a water bottle. So thinking through of can you put it in a fun glass so that you kind of get that same experience. So some mocktails are 0 calorie virgin mojito, lime, soda, mint. Muddle all those together. And you can even use lime flavored soda if you want more of that lime flavor to come out. There's a fizzy rosemary cider mocktail. These are just ones that I got from the internet. So feel free if I don't explain what's in them, it's because they were just the top rated mocktails out there. I do believe the rosemary cider one involved making your own rosemary simple syrup. So more work, but they're delicious when you have them. A lemon cucumber mint sparkler. Um, Lemon, cucumber, mint kind of all muddled together. And then you just top with your soda water. Cranberry spritzer, club soda, lime, Cinderella, which is lime juice, orange juice, pineapple juice, club soda, mashed strawberries. So when you get into those mocktails, your calories aren't coming from the alcohol. They're going to come from the juices that you put in. So just know that when they're low calorie like that, you're still going to have calories in them. Cranberry spritzer, already said that one, which is that cranberry juice, simple syrup, ice, sparkling water, um, lemon, and mint leaves. And then we've got a lime mint spritzer, which is sparkling water, lime juice, and mint leaves. So the lime mint spritzer and the 0 calorie mojito are basically the same thing. And you can muddle stuff. Even if you're doing mocktails, it's good to kind of have a cocktail kit because it comes with the muddler so you can really get some of those flavors to come out. Um, and you get the fun little glasses too. So, kind of based on what I've shared today, I want to know what your biggest takeaway was. Was it one serving of alcohol? Beer, liquor, wine is roughly 100 calories. Is it the things to kind of limit? Was it a type of drink? What was it that kind of stood out to you that you're going to take and move forward with as we move into summer? I saw something else as you guys were dropping what your insights from today were, is I saw something else where you can find recipes on the internet where you make like a batch of a cocktail or mocktail and you can put it in your fridge to already have it pre-made. Or if it's a cocktail, you can put it in the freezer. So it's already pre-made for you. So I know I said a lot of these is you're doing a little bit more work. You're squeezing lemons, you're squeezing the limes, you're muddling things. So you can always make a bigger batch, freeze it or fridge it, and then you can have that for 5 to 10 days to kind of go at rather than, oh, each time I want it, I have to put in all the work for it. So some of the insights that I'm seeing are buy fresh fruit and a cocktail kit. So I have the tools. Yeah, we have a really cute one that actually hangs on the wall. It's probably about a foot by a foot. It hangs on the wall. It's got everything we need. And it was nice because it all came together. It's all stored really nice. And even when you are making your cocktails or your mocktails, it's nice to have the right tools for it. You can even probably go to the Dollar Tree or something and get a really cheap one just if you are looking for it. But I do highly suggest having a cocktail kit, even if you are just making mocktails. I like the idea of making extra and storing it, store as time as it is an issue. Yeah, you guys don't have a lot of time, especially you busy moms in here. It's hard to be like, oh, I'm going to make this drink and the kids are doing things. Take time and make some for when you're going out on the boat or whatever it is. So you just kind of have them on hand. Hey, Millie, I see you joining in. I like that you drink um, your mocktails from your favorite cocktail glasses. Fresh fruit is also great to add. Yes, absolutely. I love drinking it from my cocktail glasses, whether it's a whiskey glass or it's a wine glass or whatever it is. I like drinking from fun glasses. I drink water out of this all day, that holding anything else is nice. Um, awesome. Any other questions or comments for me before we jump on off here? Today was kind of a little short lesson, but I know summer is busy. There's a lot going on, and I know it's noon, so you're probably getting kids down or you're on your lunch. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys got some tips as we move into the warmer months, where often we go for something a little heavier and then we're like, "Ah, I just don't want to," but you still want that little bit of cocktail or mocktail. I wanted to make sure you had all the tools necessary to get started. So, with that being the case, next week there will be no live training. I'm traveling. So, look for a mini and resistance band 30-minute class to take place inside the Facebook group. It will be posted at noon next Thursday. I highly suggest you take, they're 30 minutes, they're actually less than 30 minutes, they're about 27 minutes. Take 27 minutes, grab your mini bands and resistance bands, and do the class. And then let me know in the comments if you complete it. We will be back the following week, though, to talk about changing our negative mindset and how we can do that with a few simple tools that we actually use inside of our inner circle. So, you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns? Let me know, and I will see you all live in 2 weeks, but look for the class taking place next week. See you all next time.